Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's going to join us today. Get our stuff here. Let's go ahead and share with our group so they all know we're here. And then we will get started. All right, there it is. And share. Oops. VIP. And team. Okay, we are officially out there and live. Please go ahead and say hello if you're hanging out with us so we know who's with us today. Set that aside. All right. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to get our housekeeping out of the way, and then we are going to get right on to our stamping because I have got some really cute projects for you today. We are using the Easter basket bundle, which is this here is our Easter basket bundle, and it is so cute with our little bunnies, and we get the little duck here and the basket die I absolutely love, so I can't wait to show that to you. So let's go through real quick. Paper pumpkin. We are now into our March subscription period. You have a few more days to get in on the March kit. Hey Kay, so glad to see you. You have until March 10th, which is just a couple days away. And then you will get the March kit if you so like to grab that. The March kit does get a bonus stamp set because it is Paper Pumpkin's birthday month. So every year they do give us an extra stamp set. And this year the stamp set is going to be these little hummingbirds. So if you're a hummingbird fan like myself, you're definitely going to want to be in on this kit. Hey, Sherry. Hello, Miss Sue. So glad to see both of you ladies hang out with us. So again, the March kit, it's called the Fluttering Garden. It's going to make 9 cards, 3 each, 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. The sentiments will be appropriate for spring, Mother's Day, sentiment cards. You're going to get textured white card bases. You're going to get pre-cut paper pieces and sentiments, and your coordinating colors will be basic gray, Coastal Cabana, Early Espresso, Gorgeous Grape, Old Olive, Peach Pie, and Pretty Peacock, with your ink spot being basic gray. It will coordinate with these bonus dies as well that you can purchase separately. I believe they're right around $12. More news on Paper Pumpkin. If you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you will notice an increase in pricing after the March kit. So beginning the April kit, it will go up to $29 a month instead of the current $27 a month. So it is going up a couple of dollars, just like everything else in the world. Paper Pumpkin is not immune. Stampin' Up is not immune. Notes of Spring. This is the online exclusive that you can get as the product of the month for a $75 purchase in the online store. You can add the March product of the month for $5. Again, it's this really cute stamp set. It's called Notes of Spring. I have mine. Did that come in this order? Or is that my next one? No, I can't remember. I think it's my next one. I don't think I have it yet. But anyway, it's really cute, and I will be getting it. Just really, really cute. Stampin' Up! Also released 3 new kits. I'd like to say they're really 2 kits that they released, with the third being they coordinate with these 2 kits. So, of course, it didn't print the names. Huh. Thought I printed out the names. But anyway, there's 2 new kits. And then the third kit are these clipboards that have an easel so they stand, and they coordinate with both of these kits because these are not card kits. They're more like Art Deco type kits that you would put together, and then you would display them on these clipboards. You get 3 clipboards. There's 1 small and 2 large, and really cute if you like to decorate with your stamping hobby. Hey, Deb, so glad you made it. In addition to those kit releases, Stampin' Up! Did release a large online exclusive earlier this month, last week specifically, and lots of beautiful bundles and suites were released. Lots of paper, lots of embellishments, lots of bundles. As you can see, there's pages and pages. So can you get the product of the month if you don't? Oh, yeah, the product of the month has nothing to do with the paper pumpkin subscription. Those are completely separate. You just have to spend $75, and then the product of the month you pay $5 for, okay? So just lots of fun stuff were released in March. March is always a fun month. You will note there is going to be some changes with Stampin' Up! One of the things that they're doing is they are eliminating the annual catalog. We're going to go to 3 catalogs a year. So how we typically have the annual catalog in May that goes all year round, and then we have the 2 mini catalogs that are released around that large catalog. We always tend to ignore our annual catalog once the mini catalogs start coming out in September and again in January. So they've decided they're just going to do 3 complete catalogs. They will release again May, September, and January, I believe, is the months. So they'll still release the same as they do, but they're going to be all-inclusive catalogs for each release. So instead of having to try to live out of 2 catalogs plus online exclusives, we're going to have 1 catalog 3 times a year and our online exclusives as well. So they'll still have the online store, but we'll also have 1 catalog that we're focusing on at a time instead of trying to make you crazy with 2 different catalogs that we're bouncing in and out of. And like I said, we end up typically ignoring the annual catalog once the minis start coming out because there's always new product that we're always looking at and playing with. So it'll help with that. So with that, again, you will start seeing some price increases. Again, this has to do with the global economy. Stampin' Up! Is not immune, just like anything else. Our groceries are going up, and so is our stamping supplies. Not everything, but you will see quite a few things going up. Envelopes, cardstock, ink refills, those kinds of things you're going to notice. Our Stampin' Right markers, or Stampin' Blends. We don't have Stampin' Right markers anymore, or won't have Stampin' Right markers anymore. Also keep in mind, we have 5 in colors going out. We'll have 5 new in. Oh, thank you. I'm all ready for St. Patrick's Day. We have 5 new in colors coming in. Now, with that said, with the new in colors coming on board, we will be seeing some changes in our ink pads. Now, this isn't going to be an all of a sudden we're changing our ink pads. It's just going to be for right now, just those 5 in colors will be in a new ink pad. You'll notice they look much like our friends from Close to My Heart. We are going to slowly convert to that model where you have the magnetic case. Again, you don't have to change anything with your storage. If you've already got Stampin' Up! Storage, they are going to fit just like those. There might be a little bit more room in them, but in general, they are going to fit just fine. And again, it's not something that you're expected to transition to. It's just something that's new. Hey, Arlene, so glad to see you. Well, thank you. I spent this morning doing my St. Patrick's nails. So I thought I would have a little fun with it. But anyway, so yeah, so lots of things coming down the pike with Stampin' Up! Again, you will see the new ink pads in next month. Wait, we're March right now. April. So in May, they will come out for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. So we'll be able to start pre-ordering in the next few weeks. So you may start seeing some of those new ink pads at the new in colors. I have not seen the new in colors yet. They have not been revealed to me, but we will see them because On Stage is happening next week. I am not going to Long Beach, California. That was a huge expense to fly that far away from New York. So I opted out this year of going to On Stage. Broke my heart, but I had to be smart. That was a lot of money to travel across the country. So I'll have to hope they'll be on the East Coast again this year or next year, and I can go. All right, on to the fun. All right, we are playing with the Easter basket bundle, and I think this is the cutest bundle ever. First, I have this little Happy Easter card with our little bunny in her basket, her little chocolate bunny. Happy Easter. Isn't that the cutest little basket you ever saw? And this designer paper, it's a specialty paper, is awesome. It's got like a sheen to it. It kind of reminds me of like a matte photo paper. That's what it reminds me of. Anyhow, and then check out this little 3D basket we did. So we have our little chocolate eggs in there. It does hold 6 little chocolate eggs in our little pretty basket. And look at the little pretty basket weave we did there. Is that not the cutest thing you ever saw? Love it. And then our final card is our Easter's on its way with our little bunny. Kept him simple and not a lot of coloring. I just added a little bit of pink in his ear, and the rest of him, he was just stamped on white and left him as he is. And again, that beautiful paper. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with our first card here, our Happy Easter. Only I'm changing out our color. And the reason being, and you know what? I didn't bring it over. Let me bring that over so I can show you. Oh, goodness. Okay. So we have this beautiful paper. One side is more of a matte, no sheen. The other side is got, like they said, that glossy. It's like a matte photo paper. And if you've been around a while and you remember printing your own photos and buying the different, you have the semi-gloss, gloss, and matte. It's kind of the matte. And I did cut, well, let me show you the different patterns in here first. So we have the eggs. Backside has this basket weave. We have spring flowers. And then this beautiful plaid. I love that plaid. Didn't use it tonight, but I love it. Then we have this stripe. And then we have this little a plus sign type pattern. And then we have that same plus sign type pattern in the multicolor. And then the back side is the clover, or no, shy shamrock color. And then this is the one that I cut down. This one has the different frames. So the one I did beforehand to show you is in the balmy blue. The next one we're going to do is in this pretty in pink. So rather than cut down both sheets, I'm going to change up the colors tonight. And then I love this one as well with the daffodils and the tulips. And then the back side, we have this balmy blue bunny with the gardens motif. And then again, we have more of the baskets with the Easter eggs. All right. So I'm also using this specialty shimmer paper. This is called the Pastels Shimmers. Oops. Sorry, didn't mean to shake everything here. But it comes in Lemon Lolly, Pretty and or Bubblegum, and Pool Party are the colors. And this really went well with what we're doing tonight. So set those down here. And I'm going to pull out my supplies for card number 1. So we're making our Happy Easter. Only we're changing our colors. So this time I have a Pretty in Pink card base. This is one of our in colors. Very spring, Kay. Yes. With the change in time. Hey, sis. Glad you could make it. I thought we needed to really start waking up spring here. So here we are. So we're using spring colors and going for the Easter vibe. So we have our Pretty in Pink card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have that panel that I cut from my designer series paper. Now, when you first cut this out, it's 4 inches by 6 inches. So I kept it 4 inches wide, but I trimmed from both the top and the bottom to make it 5 1/4. So we're going to go ahead, and I do like this back side, but didn't use it. We're just going to add our adhesive, and we're going to go ahead and add this to our card base. So there's our designer paper. And then I have here some various pieces. So I have a scrap of the Pretty in Pink we're going to cut our basket from. I had a lot of these little pieces left over, so I'm not recutting from the Pool Party scrap for our basket weave. So I have these pieces here, and I'll show you the die that does that for us. I have a scrap of old olive, and that's to cut our grass from. You'll see we have the grass in our basket. I have a little scrap of crumb cake, and this is for our little chocolate bunny. And then I have here a 3. Oh, goodness gracious. What did I cut this at? Um, a 5 7/8, or 5/8 inch wide piece of basic white for our sentiment Happy Easter. So we're going to set that aside as well. All right, so let's start by cutting out our basket. So I'm going to get my die. So here's the dies. And this is our basket. Now this is what cuts out the little strips to weave your basket. So all my strips, I believe, are cut for everything we need. But for now, we do need to cut out our little basket. So we need our baby boss. We need our plates. Basket. Roll that through. Oh, let's bring that back. It moved. Oh, and of course it started cutting already. All right, well, I guess we're going to go with it. Ooh, I still caught it. Oh, we got lucky there. Okay. Put this in our little trash can. Open up. Quite warm up here. Poke that out. That cuts all of our little cut lines so we can do our basket weave. This basket die is awesome. Okay, you are not even close to wrong. All right. So now, what did I do? We're going to take our first and we're just going to weave it through. And that comes down. Once we get that in like so, we're just going to push it all the way down. Like so. And then we're going to put the next one in. And this goes in really simple, quick, because we already got that first one in there. So then we just slide this one to the top. The next one is a little bit trickier just because we're going to go opposite. This one's going to come in from the top. There we go. And we could have used the yellow on this one too. I think that would have looked really pretty. The pink and yellow, but I used the yellow with the blue basket. So I thought I would just be different with the pink one altogether. Come on. This middle one's always a little bit trickier. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now we have our weave in. And you have all these little pieces that kind of hang over. Let's get everything kind of. So we're going to take our snips. And we're just going to trim them off. And there's our little basket. Is that not the cutest little thing? All right. So now we have our grass. So we need our grass piece. We need our bow. And we can go ahead and stamp our bunny and get that ready to cut out as well. So for that, I'm using early espresso. And where's our little bunny? Well, I'll be darned. I must have left him over here. Yep, he was hiding. All right. So we're going to ink up our bunny in early espresso. And he's going to get stamped onto our crumb cake. And there he is. Okay. We're going to go ahead and close that up. And we're going to bring back our baby boss. Oh, let's grab our little bunny first. Get him lined up. Okay. Now we have our plates. We're going to get a bunny. And I think we're going to get our grass. Oh, thanks, sis. I just told these guys I spent this morning getting my shamrock nails done here. I was prepping for St. Patrick's. Figure that's coming up right around the corner, so I would do fancy nails. I was kind of playing around with it's called builder gel. Because I broke a nail. And I was able to fix it with the builder gel. Pretty neat. Because last time I went and got my nails done, holy moly, it was so expensive. It's like gone way up since we used to go get our nails done. It's like double the cost. Ain't nobody got that kind of money. All right, so set that aside. I'm going to bring in my liquid glue. And I'm just going to add just a little bit. Really? There it goes. So we're just going to do a little line of liquid glue there. We're going to layer. Oh, goodness gracious, not like that. We're going to lay our grass onto our basket. Exactly. Exactly. But I was like shocked when I went and got my nails done there last fall, and it like went way up, and I was like, yep. So now I'm just learning to do them myself. Right, we're just going to put a little bit there on the corner. And we're going to add our little bow. Hold that there for a second. All right, turn that over. We're going to get some dimensionals. And remove that backing. And that's going to lay right here on our there. There, that's better. Okay. And then for the little bunny, cover that up. I'm just going to add a little adhesive. And we're just going to tuck him right there in the grass. Then we're going to bring back our little scrap piece of white here. And I need my stamp that says Happy Easter. And this time, because we've changed our color, we're using the Pretty in Pink ink pad. And we're going to stamp it to the right. We're going to cut that left edge off at an angle. So let's grab our snips. And we're just going to angle that off. And then dimensionals. Yeah, that's just it, Sue. I wasn't even getting fancy nail designs. I was just getting a basic manicure, and I mean, I like a French manicure now and again too, and that went way up. I mean, and I get that the French is more expensive because it takes a little bit more detail to do, but whoa, forget it. Just learn to do it myself. So, I mean, it's definitely a work in progress. Every time I do them on my own, they are getting better. So, anyhow, that's how that's come to be. Just my attempt at saving a little bit of money. All right, so now I have here, these are the Easter assortment. And these are just cute little, we got these blue, balmy blue and lemon lolly flat dots. And then we have these little pink eggs. Now I used the lemon lolly and balmy blue on this particular card. This one, I'm just going to use the pink eggs because we used the pink on her. So we'll just put an egg here. And here. And that, my friends, is our first card. So what's your favorite? The blue, balmy blue with the lemon lolly, or the pretty in pink with the pool party? Cast your vote. Yeah, it is a new hobby for sure. But yes, it's cost me a little bit of money to invest in, some product to do my own nails, but it's still cheaper than going to get my nails done every 2 weeks. Okay, we got 1 vote for pink and 1 vote for blue so far. All right, so we're running neck and neck. Yeah, blue. Okay, another one for blue. I kind of think I lean towards the blue. I think the blue and yellow kind of pop. I'll have to do the pink one with the yellow and see how that looks. Aw, thanks, Arlene. They are adorable. I do agree with you there. All right. So that is our first card. Now we're going to make our cute little basket. Now this is so cute. And it's so easy. You're going to be like, really? You did that? All right. I just got to get my measurements here because we have to score our little box. Where did I put that? There it is. Okay. So for our little basket, we have our basic white for cutting our basket out. Then I have a piece of basic white. This measures 3.5 by 4 inches, and this is going to make our little box for the back of our basket. I have some of that pink shimmer paper for our bow and our little ruffle. Then I have a little piece of the pool party shimmer because that's going to do our little grass. And I have a piece of shimmer yellow lemon lolly, but I've already got all of my pieces cut because it cut so many that there was no point in wasting shimmer paper to cut out strips for our basket. So I'm going to start by moving all of this to the side. Move that, move these, We're going to start with our little box here. So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. We've got to do a little scoring. So with our 4-inch side to the top, we're going to score at 1 inch and 3 inch. So we're going to start at 1. And 3. Then we're going to spin it around and we're going to put our 3.5 inch end at the top, and we're going to score again at 1 inch and then 2.5 inches. So 1 inch and 2.5, like so. Now we can get our, ooh, come out of there. Put that out of the way. Ooh. Don't fall. See it happening. Okay. So now on one long edge here, in between the score lines, I am going to get some tear tape. And I'm just going to put 2 pieces of tear tape in between these score lines. Just like that. And I like to do this before I do anything because I like to make sure that's down nice. Next, we're going to go ahead and score on our line. Fold on our score lines. Okay, next, we're going to bring in our snips. And we're going to snip right up to those score lines there. All right. Next, we're just going to take on all of these tabs we want. And then we're just going to pull those up like so. So that makes our little box. Easy peasy. Okay, so that sets aside. Now we're going to bring back our basket die, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut out another basket. This time out of the basic white. We need our I may have to turn the fan on. Holy moly. I don't know if he's got that. I thought he was going to let the fire go out, but good grief. Run that through. There's our, need to take our pick tool to pop that right out of there. There we go. Put our die back on there. Okay, so again, we're going to do our weave. So I've got my pink and that first one goes so quick and easy. As I say that, of course there it goes. So there's our first one. So we get that in there nice and even. And then just push it down. I'm going to take our yellow. And that's going to follow the same. And then that one's going to get pushed to the top. You will find this adorable set in the mini catalog in our January to May or April. It is a full suite and it's so stinking cute. All right, so this one is going to go opposite those two. So if I can get this, there we go. Well, like I said, this one's always the hardest one. If you have something like a chopstick that you can run through here first, it does help. I don't have anything like that in my stash. I probably could have went through and found a really skinny knitting needle that would have probably worked to help. Pull that back just a smidge. That's part of the key, is to not push it forward too far so that you don't, you just want it to just make it to that cut line. Okay. Come on. I found my tweezers. There we go. There. And that goes in the center. Like so. Okay. So now we can take our snips and trim that down again. And there's our little basket. All right, before we adhere that, though, we do need to cut our little ruffle and our bow. So we want that and that. Baby Boss. Set those aside. We need this back because we got to cut our grass. If the grass will cooperate. Okay. So there's our grass. Get this out of the way. Take your pick tool to pop everything out. There's our shimmery little grass. Here's our little ruffle. And our bow. All right, so again, we're going to flip that over, add a little bit of glue, set our grass down. Add our ruffle. Add our bow. And then you need to take your pick tool again, because then we're just going to peel the backing from our little box. We're going to attach our basket to said box. And now we can add our little chocolate eggs. And that completes our little basket. Is that not the cutest little thing? You could do these as little placeholders at your Easter table. Everybody gets one. Well, you could put like the little buttermints in here. If you don't want to do chocolate. Just super cute and easy. All right, we are on to our last project. We're going to go through this really, really quick. Again, just love the set. Makes it simple and easy. So we have a thick, basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to go ahead, fold on that score line, and use our bone folder to make a nice edge. All right, I have here a piece of that designer paper. This measures 2 inches by 5.5. It's going to go the full length of your card, and we're going to go ahead and add our adhesive. And this is going to go right here to the far left edge of our card. Just like that. Then we have our balmy blue gingham ribbon. We're going to run that right through the inside of our card. And tie it into a bow here. I got to tell you, I was never so glad to find my little tweezers today as I was. It was right here at my craft table, just hidden amongst all the mess. So we're just going to go ahead and trim that down. So we're done with the ribbon. Then we have, well, let's go ahead and stamp. Our sentiment, Easter's on its way, and we're using Shy Shamrock ink. And I'm going to go ahead and ink this up in Shy Shamrock, and we're just going to go ahead and stamp this in the bottom right corner. Easter's on its way. Oh, close that up. And let's stamp our bunny. And I'm stamping him in pecan pie. And he goes on there just like so. Close up this. All right. And then I'm using the Pretty in Pink Dark Stampin' Blend. And we're just going to do the inside of his ear and his little tiny nose. Let's see. We need the die that coordinates with him. I'm going to get that all lined up. What did I do with my little tape? Apparently I didn't keep it. All right, so we're just going to grab another couple of pieces of for the love. Okay. There we go. And I'm also cutting out an oval, and I'm using the Scalloped Wishes dies. These are some new dies that came out with the March online exclusives. So these are called Scalloped Wishes, and there is a coordinating stamp set that goes with this, but I love these dies. Look how pretty those are. So you have these really pretty scalloped ovals. So we're going to cut our pink. This is pretty in pink specifically. And we're just going to get that. So there's that. And now we need our bunny. Okay, so there's our little bunny. That would go there. Okay, so now we need dimensionals. And now that is going to go right on the center. And then for our little bunny, he's also going to get a couple of dimensionals. Get those backings up. And he's going to go right there in the center of our little oval. And then to finish this, we need those Easter assortment embellishments. And a few of these little Easter eggs. Oh my goodness. And that finishes our final card. All right, so there we have our little Easter's on its way bunny. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. Then we have our Happy Easter in both blue and pink. And then, of course, our sweet baskets. Which I think these baskets are so fun. And you could actually, I mean, if you really wanted to, you could make another cut another basket out and do both sides. So it's, but I just thought the one side was all that was really needed. Oh, you're so welcome, Kay. I appreciate you for coming to hang out. This was a really fun set to play with. It really was. How's everybody adjusting to the new time? Me personally, I love this new time. It was still daylight when I was all done up here today. It was awesome. All right, my friends, that is all I have for you tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming to hang out. And I wish you all a fabulous rest of your evening and an even better week ahead. And next week, God willing, I will be back with some more fun stamping for you with some more cool ideas. All right, guys, have a great rest of your evening. And I will see you soon. Bye for now.